The beginning nobody talks about. Let me start with a simple but uncomfortable truth. Most millionaires were not born rich. They were not given massive financial advantage at birth. They were not handed success. They built it, slowly, intentionally, through decisions that others were not willing to make. The myth of instant wealth. Many people believe wealth appears suddenly. Social media sometimes reinforces this illusion. They see luxury, cars, houses, travel, but they rarely see the years of effort behind it. Self-made millionaires understand something very important. Success is usually the result of long preparation, meeting opportunity, not luck alone. The first reality. Most millionaires start ordinary. Many self-made millionaires grew up in environments that were not financially privileged. Some started with debt, some started with low income, some started with uncertainty. What separated them was not starting condition. It was mindset and behavior. They believed they could improve their situation. That belief became action. The power of responsibility. Self-made millionaires usually carry strong personal responsibility. They do not wait for rescue. They do not blame circumstances continuously. They focus on what they can control. This mindset creates momentum because energy is not wasted on complaining. Energy is directed toward building. The second reality, education alone does not guarantee wealth. This is important. Formal education is valuable, but financial success requires additional skills. Skills like communication, market understanding, emotional discipline, strategic thinking. Risk management. Many successful entrepreneurs continue learning even after finishing school. Learning never stops. The role of risk. Self-made millionaires usually accept calculated risk, not reckless risk, not gambling. Calculated risk. They evaluate downside protection, potential reward, probability of success. Market demand risk is not avoided completely. It is managed intelligently. The psychology of self-made success. Self-made millionaires often share one psychological trait. They are comfortable being beginners. They are not afraid of starting imperfectly because they understand something deep. Mastery is built through repetition, not instant perfection. The third reality. Work ethic matters. This is not romantic motivation. This is practical truth. Self-made wealth often requires long working hours during early stages, learning while doing, accepting temporary discomfort, delayed gratification. Successful entrepreneurs do not only dream, they execute consistently. The difference between born rich and self-made. This is not judgment, it is observation. People born into wealth may inherit capital, networks, experience, exposure. Self-made individuals usually build these from scratch, which means they often develop strong resilience, problem-solving ability, emotional toughness. The fourth reality. Persistence. Beats talent. Talent can help, but persistence creates long-term advantage. Many famous entrepreneurs were not the most talented in their fields, but they were extremely persistent. Companies like Amazon grew through decades of continuous improvement and reinvestment. The hidden advantage of self-made millionaires. They learn to value money because they know how difficult it was to earn. This usually leads to careful spending, strategic investing, long-term thinking. Ask yourself honestly, do I believe my financial situation can improve? Am I willing to learn new skills? Am I ready to be uncomfortable for long-term growth? Because self-made success begins in the mind. Remember this. Most millionaires are self-made not because life was easy, but because they decided not to surrender to difficulty. They built their future step by step, not overnight. Discipline, time, and the hidden structure of wealth. Now we go deeper. Because wealth is rarely created through excitement. It is created through structure. Self-made millionaires understand something most people ignore. Discipline is more powerful than motivation. The fifth reality: wealth follows behavior. Money is not random. It follows patterns of behavior. If someone consistently saves wisely, invests strategically, builds valuable skills, avoids unnecessary debt, focuses on long-term thinking, their financial probability improves. Self-made millionaires treat money as a system, not an emotional object. The sixth reality: time is their secret weapon. Self-made wealth is usually not fast. It is compounding. Many people underestimate the power of time. They want instant results. But wealth building often looks slow at the beginning, then suddenly accelerates. This is how compounding works. Early growth may appear invisible, but consistency creates exponential outcomes. Companies like Microsoft grew through decades of technological and market expansion. The seventh reality: self-made millionaires master delayed gratification. This is psychological strength. Instead of spending money immediately, they reinvest. Instead of showing success instantly, they strengthen foundations. They accept temporary sacrifice for long-term reward. This mindset is rare because modern culture promotes instant pleasure. The eighth reality: they focus on value. Creation self-made millionaires usually ask one question repeatedly: how can I solve problems for people? Because wealth follows usefulness. If a business helps more people, it usually grows. This is why large technology platforms succeed. For example, companies like Apple built wealth by improving user experience and creating ecosystem value. The ninth reality: they think in systems, not events. Most people think in events. Example: I want to make money this month. Self-made millionaires think in systems. Example: how can I build a process that generates value repeatedly? They build marketing systems, customer trust systems, production SS systems, learning systems. Systems work even when motivation disappears. The 10th reality: they accept failure as feedback. Self-made millionaires usually fail multiple times, but they do not interpret failure as personal defeat. They interpret failure as information. They ask, what did I learn? What can improve? What should I adjust? This mindset protects long-term progress. The 11th reality: they control lifestyle inflation. When income increases, they do not immediately increase consumption. They maintain reasonable lifestyle structure because wealth is not about appearance, it is about financial strength. The psychological difference. Self-made millionaires usually feel responsibility, not entitlement. They believe success must be earned. This belief influences behavior. The hidden emotional trait. Many self-made millionaires are patient. They tolerate uncertainty. They continue working even when results are not visible. Because they understand something powerful. Growth is often invisible before it becomes visible. Ask yourself, do I want money only? Or do I want the discipline that creates money? Am I building systems or chasing moments? Because self-made wealth is a lifestyle, not a single achievement. Remember this: self-made millionaires are not necessarily the smartest. They are often the most consistent. They continue when others stop. They think long-term. They build quietly, and time becomes their ally. The entrepreneurial mindset: thinking differently. From the crowd. Now we enter the psychology of independence. Because self-made millionaires are not just hard workers. They are independent thinkers. They are comfortable being different. The 12th reality: they are willing to think against the crowd. Most people follow trends. Self-made millionaires often question them, not out of rebellion, but out of analysis. They ask, is this popular because it is valuable, or because it is emotionally attractive? Crowd thinking can be dangerous because it amplifies hype. It reduces critical thinking. It increases financial risk. Independent thinking protects long-term strategy. This philosophy is common among investors studying principles similar to those of Warren Buffett. The 13th reality. They are comfortable being beginners. Many people avoid starting something new because they fear looking incompetent. Self-made millionaires are different. They understand that mastery begins with ignorance. They are willing to ask basic questions, learn slowly, improve continuously, because growth requires humility. The 14th reality. They accept social difference. Ambition sometimes creates distance. Self-made millionaires may work while others relax, study while others socialize, invest while others spend. This can create loneliness, but they prioritize long-term goals over short-term social comfort. This does not mean they reject people. It means they manage priorities. The 15th reality. Opportunity is created, not waited. For many people, wait for opportunity. Self-made millionaires often build it. They ask, how can I solve problems people are not solving? What market needs are not being satisfied? Where is inefficiency existing? Entrepreneurship is often about seeing gaps. Companies like Amazon succeeded partly by identifying market inefficiencies and improving distribution and customer convenience. The 16th reality. They study human behavior. Money is ultimately connected to people. Understanding customers means understanding psychology. They observe what people fear, what people desire, what people value, what people avoid, because business success depends on human decision patterns. The 17th reality. They manage energy, not just time. Self-made millionaires understand performance biology. Working endlessly without recovery reduces long-term productivity. They protect sleep quality, mental focus, physical health, emotional stability, because sustainable performance matters. The 18th reality. They are patient. During early failure, many successful businesses appear weak during early stages. Even large companies like Microsoft experience development challenges before becoming dominant. Self-made millionaires trust the process if fundamentals are strong. The psychological strength of independence. Independence requires emotional security. You must be able to work without external validation, continue without applause, improve without immediate reward. This is rare, but powerful. Ask yourself honestly, do I follow the crowd too often? Am I afraid of being different? Do I need validation to continue working? Because self-made success often requires psychological independence. Remember this truth. Self-made millionaires are not always louder. They are often quieter, but they are persistent. They learn continuously. They act strategically, and they build value patiently. Legacy, meaning, and the philosophy of long-term wealth. Now we reach the deepest level, because becoming a millionaire is not the final destination. It is only the beginning of a bigger question. What do you do with success once you have it? Charles are the 19th reality. Wealth is a tool, not an identity. Self-made millionaires eventually learn something very important. Money is not who they are. Money is what they use. If someone ties their self-worth to financial status, they may experience anxiety when wealth fluctuates. True stability comes from identity strength. The 20th reality. The goal is freedom, not numbers. Many people think wealth means luxury, but many self-made millionaires define wealth as control over time, freedom of decision, ability to pursue meaningful work, reduction of financial pressure. Freedom is psychologically powerful. The 21st reality. Legacy matters more than appearance. At advanced stages of success, The question changes, not how do I look successful, but how does my life create lasting impact? Self-made millionaires often think about businesses that survive generations, knowledge sharing, helping future creators, building systems that outlive them. This philosophy is similar to long-term thinking practiced by investors like Warren Buffett. The 22nd reality. They accept that wealth alone does not guarantee happiness. Money can reduce stress, but happiness also depends on relationships, health, meaning, purpose, emotional balance. Many self-made millionaires invest in personal development as much as financial growth. The 23rd reality. They think generationally. Ultra-successful individuals often think beyond their own lifetime. They ask, what will benefit my children? What will benefit future society? How can my work remain valuable over time? Companies like Apple built ecosystems designed for long-term user engagement and continuity. The 24th reality. They stay students. Forever true. High-level success creates humility, because the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. Self-made millionaires often continue studying markets, psychology, technology, and human behavior. Learning never stops. The deepest truth about self-made millionaires. Listen carefully. Most self-made millionaires are not trying to prove they are better than others. They are trying to build something meaningful. They are solving problems. They are improving systems. They are creating value. If you want to become financially successful, do not chase money directly. Instead, focus on discipline, skill development, value creation, patience, psychological strength, long-term thinking, because money follows usefulness, and usefulness follows mastery. Ask yourself one final question. If I continue improving my discipline, skills, and thinking, where will I be in 10 years? Not tomorrow, not next month, 10 years. Because self-made wealth is not built overnight. It is built through thousands of small decisions. Most millionaires are self-made not because life was easy, but because they chose to keep moving when others stopped. They learned, they adapted, they persisted, and time rewarded their discipline. Remember this, you don't need to be born rich. You need to become someone who builds value consistently. Start small, think long, stay patient, and keep creating.